What if one sentence spoken at night could turn tomorrow into your miracle? What if a few whispered words carried the power to change the shape of your destiny before dawn even breaks? What if the moment you close your eyes, heaven opens its ears? Midnight is not only another hour on the clock, it is a sacred gate, a threshold where the world of matter grows silent and the invisible laws of spirit begin to stir. When the hands of the clock strike 12, the seen and the unseen overlap. The world sleeps, but heaven listens. The house grows quiet, but the soul awakens. The subconscious, your silent architect, is no longer guarded by the busy mind. It waits like fertile soil, open to receive every word planted within it. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your word is your wand, and at night, when the conscious mind surrenders its watch, the wand is most powerful. The decree you speak before sleep does not vanish into darkness. It travels into the hidden workshop of the subconscious, where images are formed and futures are designed. The unseen law takes your words as instruction. It does not argue. It does not question. It simply obeys. Yet most souls lie down at night not with faith but with fear. They repeat silent hymns of worry. They rehearse conversations of regret. They replay debts, doubts, and disappointments. Unknowingly, they plant weeds in the most fertile soil of their life. They water their tomorrows with anxiety. They program their subconscious with patterns of lack. And then they wake up wondering why the same struggles chase them day after day. But there is another way, a way where the last words you speak before the curtain of sleep falls are not curses but codes, not complaints but commands, not fears but faith-filled decrees. These sacred words become seeds. They are sown in the invisible field of your subconscious, and like hidden roots beneath the earth, they move silently through the night until they burst forth as visible miracles. Picture midnight as a vast doorway. On one side is the day that has ended, filled with its mistakes, its triumphs, its ordinary details. On the other side is the day that has not yet come, pure and untouched, waiting to be shaped. Standing at that threshold, you hold the key. The words you speak are the codes that unlock what waits on the other side. Speak fear, and the door opens to more of the same. Speak faith, and the door swings wide to new abundance, healing, love, and divine opportunity. This is not superstition. This is spiritual law. The subconscious accepts what it is told at night with unquestioning obedience. It is the law of substitution. Whatever words are most deeply impressed before sleep will substitute the patterns of the day. Fear can be replaced with faith. Lack can be replaced with supply. Sorrow can be replaced with joy. Your words carry the authority to command the change. So I ask you now, what words do you release into the silence? Do you close your eyes with a heart heavy from the past? Or do you stand at the midnight gate as a conscious creator, ready to plant seeds that must return as miracles? Florence Scovel Shinn declared that nothing stands between you and your divine inheritance except the wrong word. Every right word spoken in faith moves unseen forces to act on your behalf. Every right word uttered before sleep calls the invisible law to work through the night. Tonight can be different. Tonight you can choose to stop rehearsing fears and start releasing faith. You can choose to trade the language of defeat for the language of divine command. You can choose to speak the words that heaven cannot ignore. And as you walk through this journey with me, you will not only discover the sacred code words that open the midnight gate, you will learn the law that makes them work. You will see how miracles do not arrive by chance, but by decree. You will awaken to the truth that your future listens to your tongue. If your spirit longs for this kind of daily guidance, if you desire practical tools that awaken your divine power, if you know your soul is ready for more, subscribe now and walk this sacred journey with me. Each day, a new key, a new teaching, a new doorway opens. For tonight, hold this truth close. The midnight gate is not silent. It waits for your word. The question is, what will you speak into it soon? I will reveal the code words themselves, but before we speak them, we must understand the law that gives them power. Because without knowing the law, even the right words lose their strength. And when the law is known, even a whisper becomes a miracle in motion. When you lie down at night, something remarkable takes place. The conscious mind, that busy chatterbox that argues, questions, and interrupts, finally falls silent. It releases its grip, and the deeper self, the subconscious, steps forward like an open field. This is the sacred moment when the law of subconscious imprinting begins its work. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the subconscious, accepts every impression as fact. It does not debate, it does not analyze, it simply obeys the command it is given. And at night, when the surface mind surrenders, the soil of the subconscious becomes more receptive than at any other time. Every word you speak before sleep falls like a seed into that soil. And just as the earth cannot resist the seed that is planted, the subconscious cannot resist the decree it has received. The law is exact. A word spoken in faith cannot return void. It must take root. It must multiply. It must create after its kind. If the seed planted is fear, fear will grow. If the seed planted is faith, faith will bloom into miracles. The night is the soil, your words are the seed, and dawn is the harvest. Think of this truth in your own life. How many nights have you closed your eyes, replaying mistakes, or worrying about tomorrow's needs? How many times have you rehearsed conversations of regret, until they echo inside your mind? Those words were not harmless. They were instructions, and the subconscious, faithful to its duty, carried them out with precision. The next day mirrored the same anxiety, the same lack, the same closed doors. Now consider a different story. A woman once found herself overwhelmed with debts and burdens. Every night she rehearsed her worries, and every morning she awoke to greater fear. But one evening she remembered Florence's teaching and made a new choice. Instead of whispering worry, she spoke gratitude as if her needs were already met. Her words became a decree. By divine right, my supply is sure. I sleep in peace because God never fails. She repeated it night after night until the words sank like roots. And within weeks, unexpected opportunities opened, debts were dissolved, and peace replaced panic. What changed? Not the world around her first, but the world within her. The seed she planted in the silence of night became the harvest she reaped in the light of day. This is the invisible law at work. The subconscious magnifies whatever it receives. Fear spoken at night multiplies into greater fear. Faith spoken at night multiplies into visible miracles. It is never neutral. It always returns what was given. Affirmations are not empty words. They are divine codes. They are vibrational decrees that activate the law. Each one carries a frequency, and when spoken with faith, that frequency imprints itself upon the subconscious. The code does not ask permission from the conscious mind. It moves directly into the unseen, rearranging patterns and opening doors. That is why Florence insisted that words are not casual. They are creative instruments. They write the script that life must perform. So I ask you to pause here and reflect. If words carry this much authority in the noise of the day, what could they unleash in the silence of night? If the subconscious accepts them without argument, why not give it a decree so divine it cannot help but return with blessing? Why surrender to fear when the same lips can command faith? In the next step of this journey, we will uncover why so many pray, affirm, and declare, yet still see no fruit. We will look at the hidden struggle that blocks miracles even when the right words are spoken. Because knowing the law is not enough, you must also understand what interferes with its perfect work. You pray at night, you whisper sacred words, you ask for light, for healing, for a door to open. Yet when the morning comes, you rise from your bed and find the same burdens waiting for you, the same unpaid bill, the same empty hand, the same silence from heaven. And you wonder, did my prayer go unheard? Did my words vanish into the dark? This is the hidden struggle, the silent loop that wears down the soul. The truth is this: many speak words of faith in the night, but in the morning, they cancel them with words of fear. It is like planting roses under the stars, then pouring poison on them when the sun rises. You nurture and you destroy, all within the same breath. Florence Scovel Shinn revealed the law most overlooked, the law of non-resistance. Nothing divine can flow into a resisting heart. A river cannot move through a clenched fist. Miracles cannot find a soul tangled in fear, doubt, and desperate control. When you cling to your worry, you choke the very blessing you asked for. Think of your nights. You lie in bed, your body still, but your mind restless. Thoughts wander into corridors of fear. What if nothing changes? What if I lose everything? What if I fail again? These are not idle thoughts. They are commands to your subconscious. They become silent scripts that shape your reality. And this is why miracles delay. Not because God is distant, not because the universe is cruel, but because faith and fear cannot occupy the same chamber. The heart cannot sing two songs at once. Maybe you know this cycle too well. You speak words of faith, then moments later you whisper your doubts. You envision a blessing, but then you replay the memory of loss. You try to surrender, yet you secretly bargain with your worry. This tug-of-war keeps miracles at bay. But here is your hope. The block is not permanent. Resistance is not your destiny. The very moment you align your words with divine truth, the channel clears. Like clouds parting after a storm, light floods in instantly. You do not have to wait years. The shift can happen tonight. Imagine speaking words that do not war with themselves, words that do not plant roses and poison them at the same time, words that carry only one vibration, the vibration of trust. When your words are one with divine law, miracles no longer delay. They appear, because they have no resistance left to push against. So hear me now. Your delay has not been a denial. It has been a mirror, showing you the hidden knots within. And the moment you untie them, everything you asked for flows without struggle. If words carry this much weight, if resistance is the true thief of miracles, then perhaps the answer has never been in asking louder but in aligning deeper. And this is where the mystery begins to unfold. For there is a way, a sacred key, a spoken code that untangles resistance and opens the door wide. What happens when a soul discovers those words? What shifts when the tongue becomes an instrument of release instead of fear? That is where we now turn. Imagine this. A traveler walks beneath a midnight sky. The road is long, the air is heavy, and ahead rises a great gate. Its iron bars glisten in the moonlight, impenetrable, unyielding. The traveler has walked far, carrying dreams, prayers, and the ache of unanswered questions. Yet the path ends here. The gate will not move. They push, they pound, they shake it with all their strength, but the gate does not open. Exhausted, they collapse against the earth, whispering into the silence, "Why will it not let me through?" Then comes a whisper carried by the wind. This gate is not moved by force, it is opened by the word. The traveler rises, confused but listening, for in this land, effort is not the currency of passage. Sound is, not any sound, not empty words, but a precise vibration, a decree, a code, one uttered in faith. This is the secret of spirit. The universe does not yield to struggle. It yields to alignment. It does not respond to frantic effort. It responds to the right decree spoken with authority. Florence Scovel Shinn revealed this mystery again and again. Words are not mere letters strung together. They are keys forged in the invisible. When spoken with faith, they unlock doors no hand can force. When spoken with fear, they bolt the gate even tighter. Think of Jericho. The walls did not fall because of weapons. They fell with a shout, a sound aligned with divine command. Or recall the ancient tale of open sesame, where treasure remained hidden until the right words were spoken. These were not fairy stories. They were parables of law, spiritual mechanics wrapped in symbol. And you, dear soul, are that traveler. You stand before your own silent gates, gates of provision, gates of healing, gates of freedom. You have pushed, strived, and wrestled with life, and still, many gates remain shut, not because they are locked against you, but because you have not yet spoken the code that opens them. The code is not loudness, it is not endless repetition, it is not begging the heavens. The code is alignment, faith without resistance, decree without doubt. When you speak from that place, your word strikes like a tuning fork across the fabric of the unseen. The gate recognizes the vibration and swings wide. Picture it now. You stand before the gate of your destiny. In your mouth rests the key, not a key of iron, but a syllable of spirit. The moment you release it, the lock dissolves as if it were never there. The barrier bows, and the path stretches open. You do not stumble through. You walk with dignity, for you carry the authority of one who has remembered the code. This is why your words matter, not because they are poetry, not because they sound beautiful, but because they carry frequency. They either harmonize with divine law or clash against it. Every decree either builds a gate or removes it. And here lies your awakening. You are not empty. You have never been. The code has been within you, waiting on your lips. Each night you stand again at the silent gate of destiny. And each night you are given the choice: speak fear and remain outside, or speak faith and walk through. So I ask you, what gates in your life stand waiting? What treasures lie behind them, untouched, not because they are denied, but because the key has not been spoken? The night is the perfect time, for when the world grows quiet, the soul remembers. And in that silence, a single word of truth, a single decree of faith, becomes the password that turns the lock. The story of the traveler is your story. The locked gate is your circumstance. And the code is your word. Speak it rightly, and miracles move toward you as rivers rush to the sea. Now the question is no longer, will the gate open. The real question is, will I dare to speak the code? And this is where the journey deepens. For what use is a parable if we do not learn how to live it? What good is knowing about the code if we do not know how to release it each night? So come with me now. Let us move from the story to the practice. Let us uncover how to use these words as living keys, how to place them in your mouth before sleep, and how to let spirit unlock the gates you once thought impossible to pass. Every sacred code must be lived, not only understood. Knowing the gate exists is not enough, you must walk to it. Knowing the key is in your hand is not enough, you must place it in the lock. This is where practice begins. The night holds a secret rhythm, a divine orchestra playing just beneath the silence. If you learn to join that rhythm, you become more than a dreamer. You become a conductor, guiding the unseen into form. Tonight, I want to guide you into a simple yet powerful practice that can turn your nights into seedbeds of miracles. That begins before you sleep, when the world has quieted, when your mind is ready to descend into rest. Pause. Do not let the last thing you carry into your pillow be worry, anger, or regret. Those are thorns that pierce the soil of the subconscious. Instead, take a deep, deliberate breath. Inhale as if you are drinking in peace. Exhale as if you are releasing the weight of the day. Feel the whisper of release moving through you. Now, speak, not as a beggar, but as a creator. Not with desperation, but with decree. Florence Scovel Shinn taught us that every word must be spoken as if it were already done. For spirit hears no difference between faith and reality. The law does not respond to pleading, it responds to certainty. So, let your words flow like this. By divine right, under grace, my miracle is here. I rest tonight in abundance, and I rise in answered prayer. All that belongs to me by divine law comes, icily, and without struggle. These are not mere sentences, they are codes. They are frequencies that echo through the corridors of your subconscious, shaping tomorrow before the sun rises. When spoken in faith, they do not drift into emptiness. They plant themselves in the silent soil of your inner world, waiting to bloom. To deepen this practice, add the gift of vision. After speaking your decree, close your eyes and imagine light wrapping around your words, carrying them like glowing seeds into the field of your subconscious. See those seeds fall gently into fertile soil. See the soil close over them with reverence. Feel the assurance that by morning, growth has already begun, unseen but unstoppable. If your mind resists with questions, if the old dialogue rises, what if I fail? What if nothing changes? Meet it with a reframe. Speak back to your own thoughts with compassion and authority. Say, what if God's law has already answered? What if the miracle is already on its way? The subconscious listens not only to what you declare aloud, but to how you answer the whispers of doubt. This is the practice of non-resistance, letting fear rise and dissolve without clinging to it. You may also choose to write. Take a small journal and each night, before sleep, complete this sentence. Tonight, I release fear and affirm. Let the rest flow honestly. This simple act creates a bridge between conscious and subconscious, directing the flow of your energy toward truth. Writing transforms the invisible into the tangible. Think of this practice not as duty but as sacred ritual. Just as the body requires food, the soul requires decree. Just as the earth requires seeds, your destiny requires words. Every night you have the chance to plant again, to align again, to speak yourself into harmony with divine law. Do this with reverence, and you will feel the difference. Sleep will no longer be an escape, but an initiation. Dreams will no longer be random, they will be responses, visions, seeded by your decree. Morning will no longer feel like the continuation of struggle, but the unveiling of what was planted in the night. Now, hear this truth. Speaking the code is only half the miracle. The other half is how you live when you wake. If you decree abundance but live as if lack is your master, you build contradiction in the soil. If you affirm health but hold on to bitterness, you uproot what you planted. Night decrees must be matched by day alignment. Only then does the divine orchestra play in full harmony. So tonight, when the clock nears its silent gate of destiny, remember this: the soil of your soul is waiting. The seed of your decree is ready. The harvest begins with your voice. Will you speak the code, plant it in faith, and trust the dawn to unveil what spirit has already begun, because the night has listened, and the morning will reveal. What you spoke in the silence of night must now breathe through your daylight hours. The decree does not end with sleep. It continues as vibration, shaping every choice, every thought, every step you take. If the night is the soil, the day is the sunlight. Together they bring forth the harvest. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that you must act as if the prayer is already answered, not someday, not when evidence arrives, now, because the law is not waiting for proof, it is waiting for your agreement. When you carry yourself as if the miracle is already moving, you harmonize with the unseen current that is bringing it to you. So how do you live this code by day? Begin with your words. The same way you planted divine phrases into the night, let them echo through your waking. When fear rises and whispers lack, substitute instantly. God is my supply. I cannot lack. When anxiety points to delay, answer softly. Divine timing is never late. My good is unfolding now. This is the law of substitution in action. You do not resist fear with more fear. You replace it with a decree that carries power. Walk in gratitude. Gratitude is not just reaction, it is proof of faith. When you give thanks for what has not yet been seen, you declare that the unseen is more real than the visible. Let gratitude become your posture, your rhythm. Thank the divine for what is already on its way. Thank life for aligning with your decree. Thank your own soul for daring to believe. Each thank you is like water nurturing the seed you planted. Think of it this way. If you plant a seed in the ground at night, you do not wake in the morning and dig it up to check if it grew. That would destroy the process. You trust the soil. You trust the sun. You trust the hidden law of growth. The same is true for your spoken code. Trust that once it has been declared, it is working even when your eyes cannot yet see. Carry reminders through the day. You may choose to repeat quietly what you declared before sleep, by divine right, under grace. My miracle is here. Or create a shortened phrase that feels like a key in your pocket, one you can touch with your tongue whenever you need alignment. The more consistently you embody the vibration, the faster resistance dissolves. Living the code is not performance. It is surrender. You are not pretending your miracle has happened. You are walking in the knowing that the law has already begun its work. You are refusing to let outer appearances dictate your inner reality. And in this refusal lies power. Even your smallest actions can align with this truth. Pay your bills with gratitude, not dread, knowing that divine supply is limitless. Speak with kindness, for the energy you release multiplies. Make choices from abundance, not from fear of lack. These actions are not empty gestures, they are signals to the universe that you are aligned with the decree you planted. When doubt tries to return, remember the image of the divine orchestra. Your life is a symphony, being composed note by note. You may not hear the full melody yet, but each note matters. Each affirmation, each act of faith, each moment of gratitude adds to the score. Trust that the music will swell in perfect time. So walk today with a quiet authority, not anxious, not desperate, but assured. The miracle has already been spoken. The law has already received it. Your role is to live in harmony with what you declared. This is living the code. And as you walk in this new rhythm, you will begin to notice the world responding differently. Opportunities arrive without strain. People appear at the right moment. Solutions come in ways you could never plan. This is not chance. It is alignment. It is the decree of the night echoing through the day. The seed has been planted. The light has been welcomed. The harvest is certain. And soon, you will see with your eyes what your spirit has already known. Now, let us move into the final transformation, the moment where you no longer just speak code words, but step into a life where miracles chase you. The journey has brought you here, from the trembling nights when fear wrapped itself around your thoughts, to the quiet decrees spoken in the silence. You have walked the sacred path from shadow to light. You have moved from the weight of uncertainty into the rhythm of faith, from blocked doors that once mocked your hope, to gates that swing open at the sound of your word, from waiting passively, to realizing that the miracle itself has been waiting for you. And now, a new truth must take root within you. You are no longer a beggar at life's door. You are not pleading for scraps of blessing, nor standing in the cold asking permission to enter abundance. You are a divine heir. The kingdom of miracles is your inheritance. The law is not against you, it is for you. And now, by alignment, the very forces of life begin to chase you down with goodness. Hear this clearly. The miracle no longer hides. The miracle pursues you. It searches for you, the way light breaks through a dark horizon. It hunts you with love, the way waves run after the shore. It follows you with certainty, the way dawn follows midnight. You do not strain to catch it, it is commanded to find you. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that when you speak the word, the universe arranges itself to fulfill it. Your decree is not empty sound, it is a divine code that moves unseen powers, and once spoken, it does not dissolve into silence. It echoes through the corridors of destiny until manifestation appears. So today, declare with me, by divine right, under grace, in perfect ways, miracles chase me daily. Speak it softly at first. Let it roll across your tongue like sacred honey. Then let it grow in strength until your body vibrates with its certainty. Say it not as a hope, but as law. Say it not as a wish, but as a fact. With each repetition, let your cells remember. With each breath, let your heart expand. With each word, let heaven and earth bear witness. As you affirm, feel what is shifting now. Notice the peace that moves into your body like a gentle tide. Notice the light that steadies your mind, clearing away the fog of doubt. Notice the expectancy rising in your heart, not restless but steady, like the sure flame of a lamp that cannot be blown out. You are no longer looking for miracles with anxious eyes. You are walking with the knowing that they are already looking for you. This is the soul's great reversal. You are no longer the hunter, you are the chosen. You are no longer grasping, you are receiving. You are no longer knocking, you are the door through which blessings flow. The divine orchestra has already struck its opening note, and your life is the stage where the music will crescendo. See it now. The midnight gate has opened. The decree you whispered in darkness has unlocked something eternal. And as dawn rises, it does not come empty. It rises carrying your answered prayer. It rises carrying provision. It rises carrying alignment, opportunity, healing, and abundance. Morning itself becomes the messenger of fulfillment. Let your imagination touch it. Walk through your day as if the air is charged with answered prayer. Hear the sound of doors unlocking with your very footsteps. See people drawn to bless you without knowing why. Feel circumstances shifting in your favor before you even arrive. This is not imagination. It is spiritual law becoming visible. And from this moment forward, you are to carry yourself differently. You are to live as one who is pursued, not by fear, not by lack, but by miracles. They are already behind you, already tracking your path, already overtaking you in divine timing. No effort can outrun them, no mistake can cancel them. They are written into your story, and the ink is divine. This is your sacred declaration. Your soul's compass has turned. You walk no longer as the seeker, you walk as the found. You walk no longer in the wilderness, you walk in the garden of answered prayers. Every word you speak, every thought you hold, every step you take is now drenched in expectancy. And as we close this journey, I invite you into one last agreement. By divine right, under grace, in perfect ways, miracles chase me daily. Hold it close, carry it forward, let it be the anthem that sings you into tomorrow. If this message awakens something within you, subscribe now. Each day we walk deeper into truth together. Each day we plant stronger decrees. Each day we step closer to the life where miracles are not distant, but ever present, chasing you, overtaking you, and crowning you with divine abundance. The midnight gate has opened, the dawn has risen, and your miracle is already on its way.